Welcome to MCCT, Microcrawler Capability Test. That's where we test and compare the driving performance and capability of micro trucks and microcrawlers from 1 to 18th to 1 to 24th scale. Trucks in stock condition as well as highly modified and upgraded ones. The trucks have to pass through 10 different tests. We'll get either points for their results or their performance will be graded, and the final scores will reveal the most capable microcrawlers. We check their climbing ability, descent performance, their tilt angle, their performance in overcoming easy and difficult obstacles, and their low speed modulation and low speed driving performance. Check the description for details of tests, scores, and mode of grading. Now let's start and present this episode's test trucks. In MCCT episode 35, we will test the FMS FCX24 Lemur. We will test the Lemur in stock form and in upgraded and modified form. The FCX24 Lemur does have a wheelbase of 136 mm and a weight of 380 grams. It runs on BF Goodrich mud terrain TA tires with 66 by 22 mm. It has a 130 motor, portal axles and a 2-speed transmission, and it has a 2S 380 mAh LiPo with 18.3 grams. The upgraded FMS FCX24 Lemur does have a wheelbase of 156 mm, that's plus 20 mm, and a weight of 488 grams, that's plus 108 grams. It runs on OGRC Compin Pro tires with 63 by 21 mm. It has stock electronics, the 130 motor, portal axles, the 2-speed transmission, and the stock battery with 2S and 380 mAh, and it has upgrades which are bearings, a better servo, links and heavy rims. And now let's check how the Lemurs can climb. Test number 1, climb on a rough surface, 45 degrees, no problem for both trucks, 49 degrees for the stock Lemur, seems to be easy, and 50 degrees. Now it's tipping over, it's falling. Come on! Very slowly, good low speed modulation, but that's too much. But no problem at all for the modified Lemur. 55 degrees, super steep. Still can do it. And 59 degrees, that's extremely steep. Only the best crawlers could do 59 degrees so far, but the modified Lemur is able to do it. Wow! And 60 degrees, that's the best result seen so far in MCCT. Come on! But 60 degrees, too much even for the modified Lemur. And here the results of test 1, climb on a rough surface. The stock FCX24 Lemur could do 49 degrees and gets 4 points for this. And the modified Lemur 59 degrees, really top result, and 14 points for this. And under 57 trucks tested so far, that's a shared place 33 for the stock Lemur, and for the modified Lemur a shared third place. Really a top result. And now let's check how they do on a smooth surface. Test number 2, climb on a smooth surface, 45 degrees, no problems for the stock Lemur, and no problem for the upgraded Lemur. 48 degrees, easy for the stock Lemur, but 49 degrees. It's in troubles. Come on. 49 degrees only, but too much. And also the upgraded Lemur, surprisingly. Problems already at 49 degrees. Tires are not as good as on the gritty surface. 52 degrees. It's struggling. It could do 59 degrees on a rough surface. And most trucks can do the same on a rough and on a smooth surface, but those tires seem to work much better on a rough surface. 54 degrees, come on, come on. That's really a surprise. Those Compin Pros perform much better on a rough surface. 54 degrees, come on. It could do 59 on a smooth surface. And finally, it's able to do 54 degrees and 55 degrees. Still 4 degrees less than on a rough surface, but it's really in trouble. OGRC Compin Pros, perfect on a rough surface, but on a smooth surface, by far not as good. Wow, 55 degrees only. Come on. No, 55 degrees too much for the upgraded Lemur. And here the results of test 2. Climb on a smooth surface. The FCX24 Lemur in stock condition, 48 degrees and 3 points for this. And the FCX Lemur modified, 54 degrees and 9 points for this. Still a good result. However, 5 degrees less than on a rough surface. And under 57 trucks tested so far, that's a shared place 37 for the stock Lemur and a shared place 8 for the modified Lemur. And now let's check how they can go down, stop and go up in reverse again. Test number 3. Going down, stop and go up in reverse again. 45 degrees. No problem for the stock Lemur and for the modified one. 47 degrees. Stock Lemur is already lifting its rear tires. But still can do it without big problems. 48 degrees. Come on. Come on. But now it tips over, only 48 degrees. Its short wheelbase is not helpful here. And even the very good low speed modulation, which should help, didn't help here. Come on. 48 degrees. Third try. Tips over again. 48 degrees too much for the stock Lemur, but no problem at all for the modified Lemur. 50 degrees. No problem at all. 54 degrees. That's already really steep, but still can do it without big problems. 55 degrees. That's already super steep. Come on. Come on. And it manages to do 55 degrees. Wow. 56 degrees. Come on, Lemur. But now it tips over again. Tips over. Come on. No problem stopping. But going up in reverse again too much. So here the results of test number 3. 47 degrees and 1 point for the stock Lemur only. And for the modified Lemur, 55 degrees and 5 points at test number 3. And under 57 trucks tested so far, that's a shared place 35 for the stock Lemur and a very good shared place 3 for the modified Lemur. And now let's check the tilt angles of those Lemurs. Tests 4 and 5, tilt angle to the left and to the right. Stock Lemur to the left, 45.5 degrees. Upgraded Lemur to the left, 50.45 degrees. Stock Lemur to the right, 43.85 degrees. Upgraded Lemur to the right, 50.45 degrees. And here are the results of tests 4 and 5. Tilt angle to the left and to the right. The stock FCX24 Lemur to the left, 45.5 degrees and 6.75 points for this. And to the right, 43.85 degrees and 5.93 points for this. And the upgraded Lemur to the left, 50.45 degrees and also to the right 50.45 degrees, so 9.23 points for each side. Those are really good results under 57 trucks tested so far. That's place 14 for the stock Lemur and an awesome result. Best result seen so far in tests 4 and 5, place 1 for the FCX24 Lemur modified. And now let's check how they can climb. Test number 6, the flat side of the hill of branches. No problem for both trucks, not in first and not in second gear. So 2 out of 2 points for both at test number 6. Test number 7, the steep side of the hill of branches. Probably the most difficult test of MCCT. And the stock Lemur is really in troubles. No grippy tires, high center of gravity. It tips over, no chance, but check this. The modified Lemur. Wow, what a performance. Those OGRC comp-pin tires seem to grip extremely well. This has never been seen before. Check this. The best performance ever in MCCT of the modified FCX24 Lemur. And here the results of test number 7, the steep side of the hill of branches. The stock Lemur, 0 points. It couldn't do this test. It was the first FMS FCX crawler tested in MCCT that was not able to climb the steep side of the hill of branches. All other trucks tested, the FCX24 Power Wagon, the K5 and the Unimog and the FCX18 LC80 were able to climb the steep side of the hill of branches. But the modified Lemur, wow! What a performance! This has never been seen before. Those tires, the OGRC Comp-Pin Pros, seem to work awesome on rough surface. Perfect! 10 out of 10 points for the modified Lemur in test number 7. Test number 8, the flat side of the hill of Pebblestones. No problem for both trucks. Not in first and not in second gear, so 2 out of 2 points for both trucks. Test number 9, the steep side of the hill of Pebblestones. Super difficult obstacle, and the Lemur stock is struggling in first gear, but with the right line it even can do it in first gear, and it does surprisingly well in second gear. The big tires and on the smooth surface, those tires are not that bad, so it falls quite often, mainly in first gear, but successful in many tries. And the upgraded Lemur with the OGRC comp-pin tires, also in first gear, really struggling. And those tires are not good at all at those smooth surfaces. So it is struggling, also has a lot of failures, but can do it also in first gear. It's easier in second gear. To do the first step and to climb the hill. With the right line it seems easy, but it also falls. But finally, quite good performance, but by far not as good as in the steep side of the hill of branches. So here the results of test number 9, the steep side of the hill of pebblestones. The lemur in stock form, surprisingly well done. That was a good performance. Positive surprise, 7 out of 10 points. And the FCX24 Lemur modified was a bit of a negative surprise. It did okay, but by far not as good as in the steep side of the hill of branches. And so the performance of those two in this test was very similar. So also the FCX24 Lemur modified gets 7 out of 10 points. Test number 10. Low speed performance and modulation, the last test of MCCT, and both lemurs to have the same electronics. Both lemurs are the same truck before and after modification, and those FCX24s do have the FlySky electronics and ESCs, and the performance is awesome. They are a little whiny, tiny little bit, not completely silent, but the latest generation seems even to have better low speed modulation in first gear. That's absolutely awesome. In second gear, it's fast. It's no climber in second gear, but therefore it has a first gear, and this is absolutely fantastic. Maybe even better than the first generation ones. Check this out. Absolutely awesome. Nearly as good as in the German ones. So 4 out of 5 points for both lemurs, which are the same lemurs, have the same electronics in test number 10, low speed performance and modulation. And we come to the final score of MCCT episode 35, FMS FCX24 Lemur stock and after modification. Here again all tests performed, all 10 tests, and all points gained, and we see the modified lemur is better in nearly each test. In some tests is much better. The stock lemur could not do test number 7, the steep side of the hill of branches. What was disappointing, because all other FCX tested before could climb all obstacles, and it doesn't have any real strong tests. Best test number 9. Here it was really good at the steep side of the hill of pebblestones, and this was also the biggest surprise, because the modified lemur was not better there. The modified lemur showed awesome performance in climbing, but also in tilt angles, best tilt angles of all trucks tested so far, and it could climb super steep on a rough surface. But what was a big surprise, it couldn't climb as steep, by far not as steep, on the smooth surface, so it gained 5 points less, 14 points on the rough surface and 9 points on the smooth surface. All in all, the modified lemur gained more than twice as many points as the stock lemur. 35.68 points for the stock lemur and 71.76 points for the lemur after modification, and under 57 trucks tested so far. That's place 32 for the stock lemur with 1 failure and 35.68 points, and the modified lemur was amongst the best trucks tested so far. Place 2 out of 57 trucks tested with 71.76 points. If it would have had a better performance on the smooth surface as the number 1, the modified SCX24 low and light did, then it would even maybe have taken place number number 1. The stock Lemur takes place 21 under 45 trucks in stock form that have been tested so far, so not a really good result for a dedicated crawler. And the modified Lemur takes place 2 under 12 modified trucks so far. And that's it for MCCT episode 35. But watch out for the next episode of MCCT. There are still a lot of trucks to be tested. MCCT will be back.